My name is Lumhi Miko. It means Eagle King. I'm from the Seneca people of upstate New York, and I'm Snipe Clan. I first want to start off by giving thanks and acknowledgement to the caretakers of this land that were here before us, for we're taking up where they left off, and hopefully somebody else in the future generation will take up where we leave off and take care of this land for future generations as well. So thank you, Big Badamiaye and Miigwech, to the Anishinaabe and Dakota peoples of this land for teaching us how to live here in harmony with this world. So first and foremost, I just want to tell you guys that a little bit about hoop dance and who we are representing the Sampson Brothers. Hoop dance is said to be a storytelling and a healing dance. But I will argue that any dance is storytelling and healing. For instance, without even knowing anything or any context, if I do this one dance, I bet you guys get some good energy from it. Are you guys ready? Here it goes. Right. So it didn't need too much energy, but I gave you guys some energy. It was good, happy feelings, and even for me, just doing it, it felt good to get some acknowledgement as well. So entailed with the hoop dance is the chance for each individual to tell their own story. All right? My story is different from every single person's in this world. It might be parallel to some, it might intersect with others, but it is very well my own story and my own perspective. But without everybody else in this big, beautiful world, it wouldn't be my world, and it's something to share with you guys as well. So the first thing I want to do for you guys is share a poem that I had written in college. I never thought I would share with anybody. When I was little, I wasn't but two and a half years old, my father passed away. And as I grew up, I didn't get to learn with him, laugh with him, cry, or any of that fun stuff. But in my adulthood, people would look at me in shock and awe and say, man, this is wild, because you look, walk, talk, and act just like your father. And I thought that was so cool because of the legacy that he had done in his lifetime and the things that he had accomplished as far as breaking stereotypes and allowing Native Americans to be a voice for themselves. So for me to be seen in that same light, I thought it was a really tremendous thing, and so I wrote a poem about that. And in this theoretical, metaphoric world, I am together with my father, and in reality, he's with me at any given moment. I just gotta turn around and look in the mirror. So without further ado, this is the first track, I Know This Man by the Sampson Brothers, featuring the Sela Singers. Vision of showing the world what Native American really means. Like a photograph, his image lives in me. I carry his voice, his trouble, his glee, his towering persona is all that is me. So much that when I weep, he cries and comforts. And when I triumph, he puffs with pride. He sings, yet I cannot hear. And he dances, yet I cannot see. If only I could hold his hand, his enormous, embracing hand, and rejoice together under the endless shower of twinkling starlight, starlight, starlight. Last night, I saw this star, and this star winked at me and made me shiver. But just then, a brisk black breeze close to the trees, and the tallest pine seemed to lean and whisper. I know this man. This man is a younger me. My father had spoke to me. And through the whispers of the bristles in the trees, I could hear it clear as day. He said to me, son, there's gonna come a time and a place when the world must face a challenge like never in existence. It's here and now, and the sad thing is, we know who did the bad thing is, and they're staring at that muddy reflection. I don't say it just for mine, but I say it for you and yours protection. You got a job on this earth, you're a part of this world, and it's hard, but it's worth it. We're all one human race. Time to get with the pace and start healing these once beautiful nations. Mado, Yahweh. Thank you. So just a little context about that song and whom it was about. My father was actually a very prolific man, probably not only in my life, but also in the lives of the world. For once in media, in the Hollywood scene, Native Americans were finally portrayed as a modern people. We were not a stagnant people of the past. We were not monolithic. We are more than 565 different tribes just in here in North America. And so my father had a chance to break that stereotype, to change that narrative. And for once in a movie, a Native American was portrayed as a human being. Not as a savage, not as a heathen, not as less than, but someone as an equal, capable of love, fear, anger, not only aware of himself, but aware of his fellow man. And that movie was One Flew Over the Cuckoo's Nest. My father is Will Sampson. Thank you. And so that's who that poem was about. So in his time, he got to change stories and change minds and enlighten the people. And so here I am doing my own way, doing the same exact thing. So as I mentioned before, hoop dance is a storytelling dance, and I want to educate you guys as much as I possibly can with as little amount of time as I have. So first things first, you guys remember geometry in school? Yeah, everybody kind of, yeah. All right, pop quiz, ready? What shape is this and how many sides is it? Triangle. How many sides of triangle? All right. What about a square? How many is in a square? What about a pentagon? See if I can make that. Pentagon. All right. What about an octagon? What about a decagon? Wow, you guys are good. I like this. All right, so one thing you'll notice from the triangle to the square to the pentagon, the octagon, the decagon, the more and more sides that you add to it, the more and more it starts looking like a circle, all right? So we have a teaching in our indigenous way of life that says a circle is infinite. It's perpetual, okay? It doesn't have a beginning or an end. Now, here's your pop quiz. How many sides are in a circle? 0, 1, one bent one, right? Well, in Western science, they define a shape of a circle as a shape with infinite sides and infinite angles. Go ahead and ask Google, ask Siri, see if I'm correct. But yes, in fact, it is infinite, which means it goes on forever and ever and ever, which entails the very same teaching that we talk about when we talk about our hoop. So, very cool thing. Each and every single one of us has a side in this circle. Every single one of us has a side in this circle. Everybody in Asia, everybody in Africa, those people that work down in Antarctica, they're part of this hoop as well. But even more so than the people, the birds, the bees, the trees, the creepies, the crawlies, the earth itself, the stars, the moon, anything you can think of as an entire galaxy is a part of this hoop. Now here's the cool part. You take this hoop and everything in it, you turn it this way. It's flat. It's a plane. Nothing is above, nothing is below. Everything is equally on the same level, equally important, still a part of the circle. And it wouldn't be the circle if you took any one side of it out. If you took one side out of the circle, it'd be more like a letter C or a U. But it wouldn't do what circles do. It wouldn't have all this beautiful definition and characteristics of circles. All right? So one last thing I want to share with you guys really quickly. If this is my world and my hoop, this is my perspective. I'm only one being. It's not until we cross paths like a beautiful celebration like this to share our cultures that But you start to see that when your worlds collide, it depends on how much you delve into it, how much you understand each other. But then as soon as you get to a full circle, you really start to see another dimension take shape, literally. And this hoop then gains more dimensions. And the more and more people you meet, the more people you come across, the more information that you learn about the world around you, and you will literally start to see your world take shape. And as it is, if it's misshapen, I have the power of choice. I can ignore it, I could make it worse, or I can fix it. All right? And that's up to us. You and me, as human beings, we have the power of choice. Very good. Awesome. Thank you very much. So, without further ado, I'm gonna continue. I'm gonna tell some stories with these hoops. And one story I wanna tell for you guys is a contemporary story of where we are. Hadi Wenyon Danjens is a word from my language. It means thunder beings and acknowledges the great creators of the rains and the thunders. For not only does it bring life and nourishment, but also brings a balance. It has lightning, it has fire. It can raise the earth just as much as it can bring it up. Raise, two raises. Anyways, so I'm gonna do a contemporary hoop dance. I'm gonna get my hoops on. Give me 1 second to get these hoops on, and then we'll get started. This song is called "To Live and Die," produced by a friend of mine named Frank Wan. He's a Lakota from Rosebud, Lakota from South Dakota, and he's a hip hop artist. Check him out. Give me one moment. All right, you guys enjoy that? All right, all right. Just a quick show of hands. How many of you guys saw Turtle Island, the first thing that you saw? I should see everybody's hand. The first thing that you saw was a turtle island. And in our creation story, the earth was here first, and then human beings came to the earth. Turtle came and helped the humans learn how to survive on this earth. And in turn, it was the job of the humans to take care of the earth. And so that was part of that story where sometimes the weather, nature will realize that there's an imbalance and things need to be boiled back down to our most simple ingredients in order for us to have a sturdy foundation for the future. And so that's literally what that was. You saw the weather get crazy, you saw a tornado come, you saw lightning strike, and a single molecule, hydrogen, bursts into flame and raises everything down to the ground. But hydrogen also is a key component, not only to fire, but also to water. And as you saw these single hoops interact with each other, these are those single atoms reacting with another atom, creating molecules, creating the things that we know of today as life. And what you saw was that water molecule then taking on the form of Earth itself. So, a story in itself, but also a good time to bring it back to our traditional sense. So I'm gonna do this next number in a traditional style, and you're gonna see me pick up each one of the hoops with my feet, okay? And the reason being that we don't wanna take anything from anybody. I don't wanna take your hat, I don't wanna take your glasses, I don't wanna take your phone, at least not without offering something first. And so even from the earth, we don't wanna take anything without offering something first. And so what we give is our energy. It comes from our soul, comes from our heart, goes through the bottom of our foot and into the earth. The earth reciprocates that energy back and allows it to stand that hoop up for us to pick it up and utilize it as a tool to help us tell our story, to show literally that we are all connected. So give me 1 second. I'm gonna get my hoop set up and we're gonna go to the third number, which is Still Flying. Scratch that. We're gonna go from still flying right into the last number. All right? All right, so we're gonna do a traditional style first. We're gonna give it a moment to breathe. And if you see something you like, go ahead and give me some clap, give me some energy, all right? I'm out here pouring my heart out for you guys, okay? So if I don't hear no energy, I'm gonna slow down, I'm gonna stop, I'm gonna wonder, am I doing a good job or not? All right, so if you see something you like, don't be afraid to give me some energy, all right? Thank you guys. one thing I want you guys to leave with today is to understand that we are all a part of this big, beautiful world, and we all have a purpose here, all right? So don't forget that, and come to understand that we deserve respect, every single one of us, all right? Including the earth, including the earth. Miigwech, thank you, Sampson Brothers, we out.